Dr. Walter Williams, a magnificent man who doesn't get the honors and awards that he deserves. He writes in Investor's Business Daily, "Hustlers and people with little understanding want us to believe that today's black problems are the continuing result of a legacy of slavery, poverty, and racial discrimination. The fact is that most of the social pathology seen in poor black neighborhoods is entirely new in black history. Let's look at some of it. Today, the overwhelming majority of black children are raised in single female-headed families. As early as the 1880s, 3/4 of black families were two-parent. In 1925, New York City, 85% of black families were two-parent. One study of 19th century slave families found that up to 3/4 of the families, the children had the same mother and father. Today, black illegitimacy rate of nearly 75% is also entirely new. 1940, black illegitimacy stood at 14%. It rose to 25% by 1965, when Daniel Patrick Moynihan wrote, quote, "The Negro Family, the Case for National Action," unquote, and was widely condemned as a racist. By 1980, the black illegitimacy rate had more than doubled to 56%, and it's been growing since, both during slavery and as late as 1920. A teenage girl raising a child without a man present was rare among blacks. Much of today's pathology seen among many blacks is an outgrowth of the welfare state that has made self-destructive behavior less costly for the individual. Having children without the benefit of marriage is less burdensome if the mother receives housing subsidies, welfare payments, and food stamps. Plus, the social stigma associated with unwed motherhood has vanished. Female-headed households, whether black or white, are a ticket for dependency and all of its associated problems. Ignored in all discussions is the fact that the poverty rate among black married couples has been in single digits since 1994. Black youth unemployment in some cities is over 50%. Yes, right? So let's raise the minimum wage. Right, L.A.? Right, San Francisco? Right, Seattle? But high black youth unemployment is also new. In 1948, the unemployment rate for black teens was slightly less than that of their white counterparts, 9.4% compared with 10.2%. During that same period, black youths were either just as active in the labor force or more than white youths. Since the 1960s, both the labor force participation rate and the unemployment rate of black youths has fallen to what they are today. Why? Are employers more racially discriminatory today than before? Were black youths of yesteryear more skilled than whites of yesteryear? The answer to the both question is a big fat no. The minimum wage law and other labor regulations have cut off the bottom rungs of the economic ladder. Put yourself in the place of an employer and ask, if I must pay $7.25 an hour, plus mandated fringes, such as Social Security and workers' comp, would it pay me to hire a worker who possesses skills that enable him to produce only $5 worth of value per hour? No. Most employers view that as a losing proposition. So the minimum wage law discriminates against employing low-skilled workers, usually youth, particularly black youth, which is exactly what I've been saying. And I will elaborate on this in the months ahead. The little bit of money a teenager can earn through after-school, weekend, and summer employment is not nearly so important as the other things he gains from early work experience. Skills, good work habits, being prompt, respecting supervisors, and so forth and so on. Right on, Dr. Williams. The left hates Walter Williams, and for good reason. For good reason. There is no smarter man. Oh, there's some just as smart, but there are no men who are smarter than Walter Williams, and he takes it to them. I want to thank him. He's had a long career, and he does a tremendous job.